Hello all. Sorry for delay. Actually, it's introduction class, right? So that's why it's got little bit delay. So tomorrow onwards, we'll try to make sure like 7 a.m. sharp by IST. Okay, 7 a.m. IST sharp. We'll make sure. Okay, okay. So yesterday we were discuss. I have meanwhile I have muted all. So to make sure line is clear. So whenever you have questions, you can just message me in GoToMeeting. There itself or in GoToMeeting you may be aware of. Okay, so you have any questions or you have any clarifications, you can message me. I can unmute, we can discuss. Okay. Okay, so yesterday we were discussed brief history about testing. Along with that one, if you choose your career for testing in your IT industry, there are so many technologies available. So if you choose other technologies, how will be your career? If you choose testing, how will be your career? That is what we were discussing yesterday. Then we'll today we'll try to see like our real course startup today. So that is nothing but like testing definition we see today. Okay. Okay, so testing definition, it will take 1 hour, around 1.5 hours also it may take. Okay, so anyway, it's all of you comfortable, right? So anybody having any questions at the end of just message me, we'll plan accordingly. Okay, so this small session we will be able to cover a testing definition. We are covering testing definition means these are the different things gets covered, like verification, validation, quality assurance, quality control, software development lifecycle. So then differences between verification and validation, differences between quality assurance and quality control. Okay, so static testing, dynamic testing, difference between static testing and dynamic testing. Along with this one more simple thing like software quality assurance. Okay, we are discussing testing definition means all these different things gets covered here itself. Okay, okay, if you go as soon as you hear testing, it seems like you are aware of, right, this word. Okay, that means something you are having, so that one you are trying to test to make sure whether it works properly or not. Simply I have to say means, let us suppose you are going to purchase mobile phone. Which are the different things you look for? So first thing you look for brand, then cost, price, model. Okay, and whether it will really meet your requirements or not, it will support internet or not. Like this, different things you will look it up. That means what you are trying to validate there, whether it meets your requirements or not. That is what you are trying to test for that mobile phone. So that is nothing but like testing. Very simply you have to define this. Or you are trying to purchase laptop. Okay, so which are the different things you look for? First you look for brand, then configuration, hard disk, model. So many things you look it up. So each and everything whatever you like, okay, it meets, then only you are going to purchase that application, that thing. Otherwise you are not going to purchase, right? That means you are trying to test that application or that product whether it meets your requirements or not. If it really meets your requirements, then only you will purchase that application. Otherwise you don't purchase, right? That is what exactly you're doing in your daily roles, like if you choose your career for testing. So testing, simply you have to define means verifying the application whether it's meeting customer requirements or not. Okay, so verifying the application whether it meets customer requirements or not. So other words, also you can define it as executing the program with the intent of finding the errors. So developer will be developing the application, so tester will be coming up with testing their code. Okay, so that is nothing but like testing. Very simply you have to define this: executing the program with the intent of finding the errors. So final outcome is like that should be quality application. So if your application having no issues, what does it mean? That application is quality application. So as a tester, what is your responsibility is like whether that application is quality application or not. So that is what you have to certify. Okay, so that is what your tester's job. Okay, so that means with the help of testing department, what you are trying to certify, what are the project or what are the application you are purchasing or you are testing, you are working, that application is quality application or not. That is what you are trying to certify. Okay, so you want to certify that is as a quality application or not, means you should be aware of what is quality, right? If you are aware of what is quality, then only you can certify it as a quality application, then deliver it to the market. So you should be aware of quality. So we are into software industry, right? So we'll try to see like what is software quality. Okay, so to meet customer requirements, so this is what we already discussed. So the primary goal of any application or any product is like it should meet end user requirements, then only they can grow their business. Along with this one, let us suppose you have taken some internet connection. Your requirement is you have to browse. That is what your requirement. That's why you have taken some internet connection. Let us suppose you are able to browse, but it's too much slow. Okay, it's too much slow. So if that is the case, will you be able to continue with the service? You'll stop immediately, right? And you look for other service. Exactly, this is the difference between requirement and expectation. Your requirement is you have to browse, but along with your requirement you will expect additional stuffs, right? So speed you will expect. If that is not good, you will look for alternative. So that is nothing but like expectation. So that is the difference between requirement and expectation. So speed, and one more important thing is like usability. Okay, so three things comes into picture like in expectation: usability, performance and security. These three comes up. Okay, so IT industry or your computer applications, if you take, not only educated people going to use, okay, uneducated people also trying to use, right? Like ATM services or mobile phones, if you take best example. Okay, so uneducated people also trying to use. If they feel difficulty in using mobile phones, okay, then will they be able to purchase mobile phones? They cannot go for, right? So if that is the case, companies gets useless. So any of the application, any of the company, they are coming up with some product, means they should concentrate like usability of that application should be user friendly. In such a manner they have to come up with their applications. Okay, so as a tester, what you will do is whether that application is providing user friendly interface or not. That is what you try to test. Okay, so that is nothing but like usability. Another best example like ATMs. ATMs only educated people are not going to use, right? Uneducated people also. So that's why if you observe ATM center, multiple languages. If you take city, in that city which are the different communities people living, all those languages they will try to put in your ATM center. That is only because of usability. Okay, then performance already we discussed. Okay, and security. These days most of the banking transactions performing in online, right? So if it is not secure, then nobody go and utilize those services, right? So whatever the application you are performing, So for that application, as a tester, what you will try to test is like whether that application providing security or not. That is what you will try to certify. So that is nothing but a security. Okay. Okay. So to meet customer requirements, to meet customer expectations and budget. Sorry. Sorry. So budget also one more important factor plays major. Okay. So the world is surviving under 80-20 principle. You might be heard. What is this 80-20 principle? 80% are poor people, 20% are rich people. So 20% rich people driving poor people, right? 80% of the people. Okay. So any of the business they have to grow means they should not concentrate rich people, they have to concentrate poor people. Okay. So best example, during starting days of your mobile communications, how are the costs of mobile phones? Very costly, right? So Indian rupees, if you talk like 30,000 or 40,000, 50,000 you have to spend. Meanwhile, calls, how are the costs of calls? Even incoming also is too much costly. Within 5 years or 6 years time box, how tremendously rates got decreased. So today 1 paisa there are so many plans, so many packages comes up. Why? This is only because of this principle. Okay, whenever rates are high, only rich people able to use. So that means they used to get only 20 rupees. But if that product is purchasable by more number of people like 80% middle class people or poor people, then they used to get profit like 80 rupees, right? So so any of the business they have to grow means they have to concentrate 80% of the people, not 20%. That means like should be purchasable by more number of people. So should be within budget limits. So that is nothing but like within budget and within time. Time also plays major role. Okay. So any point of time, let us suppose any of the company they plan to come up new product, they are plan to release new product into the market. Okay. So during recession time they were released, let us suppose. So during recession time most of the people got stuck up with financial struggle or due to problem or something, so many issues they were facing. So at that time nobody go and interest for new products, right? So at that time they will definitely get huge loss. So time also plays major role any business they have to grow means. So as a tester, whatever the application you are working for, that application whether it's having is meeting these 4 points or not, that is what you will try to test. If that application is meeting these 4 points, then you can certify it as a quality application and can release it to the market. So that is nothing but like testing. So testing is nothing but like verifying the application whether it's meeting customer requirements or not. So who will develop the application? So for developers, so developers will come up with code. So that code you will be testing with the intent of finding the errors. Okay. Very simply you have to define means this is nothing but like testing definition. If you see some books or some Google, if you search, you will see this is the definition. But really you have to define means testing is nothing but like verification plus validation. Also you can define it as quality assurance plus quality control. Okay. So we go one by one. What is verification and what is validation? Verification is nothing but like prevent. Okay. Validation is nothing but detect. What is the difference between these two? What is the difference between prevent and detect? Prevent is nothing but so before getting some health problem, what you will be doing is like you will be taking frequent health checkups and keep managing healthier. That means before occurring the problem you are taking precautions. So that is nothing but prevent. Once health get affected, then you go to doctor, you will take medicines and it will get cured. So that is nothing but like detect. So before getting the health problem, you are taking precautions. That is nothing but like verification. Once health gets affected, so what are the take cares you are taking? That is nothing but like validation. That is nothing but like detect. Sorry. Okay. So how exactly it works out with respect to testing? So what do you mean by testing? So whatever the developer coming up with code, whatever the developer coming up with application, in that application you are trying to find out errors, issues. Okay. So with respect to testing, if you think about like prevent and detect, before occurring the error, you are taking precautions. So that is nothing but like prevent. Once error occurred, you will be finding out and you will be resolving. So that is nothing but like detect. Okay. So prevent, we are telling like before occurring the error, you are taking precautions. So that's what, how you are taking precautions before occurring the error. That is what you have to understand, means you should be aware of. Okay. So what is software development life cycle? That one you have to understand very clear, means you should be aware of software development life cycle. So this life, before that, software development life cycle is nothing but like they have to come up with any of the project, any of the application they have to develop, means they should follow some process, some different steps. Those steps you can consider as software development life cycle. Okay. So normally what is life cycle? In our real life, whatever the life available, each and every life should be having some life cycle, right? Trees, human being, anything you take, some life cycle you will be having. Human beings, if you take like a child, teenage, middle years, old age, like this 4 phases will come across, right? Exactly, any life, if you think some different phases you will come across, that one you can consider as life cycle. Exactly, in your software industry also, for each and every application should be having some life cycle. So that is nothing but like this one you may be aware of. Okay. In your studies time you could have studied, but we'll come up with exactly how it works out in our real time industry. Okay. So analysis, design, development, testing, release and maintenance. So these are the different phases you will come across in your software development life cycle. That means any of the application you have to develop, means you will try to follow these different phases. We go one by one. Analysis phase. So your project starts from analysis. Okay. So in analysis phase, business analyst gets involved. You are working for some project or somewhere, means while you are working very seriously, some banks or somebody will call you, oh we are offering very good interest loans or something, very good interest personal loans or bank loans or something they will call, right? What do you call them? Business executives, right? Business representatives. Exactly, each and every company should be having some business analysts. So what these people's job is, how to roam across multiple clients and how to explain greatly about our company and attract clients, bring the projects. That is what these people's responsibility. Okay. So each and every company maintain like a business analyst. So these people will be roaming across multiple clients, different clients, and they will be explaining about company, and while explaining, some of the client shown interest in giving their project, let us suppose. So at that point of time, what this business analyst will do is, these people gather all of their requirements and make them as one document. That document you can call it as business requirement specification. The idea is very simple. This business analyst, what they will do is they will gather all of the client requirements, whoever interested, all those requirements, they will make them as one document. That document you are calling it as business requirement specification. Why you are calling it a business requirement specification is this is the business meeting point for both the clients as well as company, right? So that's why client is running some business. For his business requirement, he wants one software. Meanwhile, what is the business for our IT companies? We have to develop projects and deliver it to them, right? So that means for both of the parties, this is the business meeting point. Okay. So this is nothing but like business requirement specification. Okay. So business requirement specification also you can consider as customer requirement specification. Also you can treat it as user requirement specification. So once you develop application, who is going to use this application? Client only, right? So that's why you are considering it as client requirement specification, and he is the end user for this application, right? So these are the different synonyms you can say. Okay. There are so many domains you will come across. What do you mean by domain? Domain is nothing but like specific field, like telecom, mobile communication. So this one comes under telecom. Exactly, healthcare, insurance, banking, securities, shares is there, right? That one comes under like securities domain. Okay. So finance, like this, so many domains are there, right? So until and unless you get a chance to work on specific domain, you may not be aware of, right? Okay, you don't be having very clear picture about their terminology. If you go for like healthcare, doctors or researchers, they may be using some their own terminology. That one, until and unless you get trained, you may not be aware of. So this BRS document contains exactly in their terminology, and meanwhile clients, they doesn't know how we develop our software applications, how we come up with our software applications, right? So what they will do is they come up with their own terminology. Okay, what exactly they recommend. So we may not understood their requirements. So this business analysts, what they will do is they will be analyzing these requirements will be very clearly and convert these requirements into one more document, that is nothing but like software requirements specification. Okay, so that one you can consider as like software requirement specification. Okay, so that means like how exactly you are going to develop client requirements, whatever you mention in BRS as a software. That one they convert into and come up with one more document. So that one you are considering it as like software requirement specification. Also you can consider as functional requirement specification. Okay, so in analysis phase, business analysts getting involving and they are gathering information from client, right? So that's why analysis phase also you can consider as info gathering phase. Information they are gathering from client. Okay, so business analysts have to play this role, means they should be aware of client's domain as well as how we develop our softwares. Then only they will be able to play this role, otherwise they cannot. Okay, so business analysts gets involved in analysis phase and they come up with two types of documents, that is nothing but like BRS and SRS. Once analysis phase done, then design comes into picture. What do you mean by design? Let us suppose you are planning to construct very big apartment. So to whom you will approach initially for design? Civil engineers, right? So you can call them as architects as well. Exactly, you have to come up with any of the application like Gmail or Yahoo Mail or something, whatever the application it is. For that application you have to come up with means you have to come up with entire design of that application, right? Entire design of that application. That means like login screen if you take, how exactly you have to come up with login screen. If you look for Gmail, left side about Google company, right side login screen. If you go for like home page, left side you will be seeing like in compose mail, inbox, outbox, sent mail, logout. Right side in middle you will be able to see like your mails, and right side you will see like say note or something, some yards or something like that. That is nothing but like design, right? Exactly, in design phase architects gets involved and they will be coming up with two types of documents. Okay, high level design and low level design. Okay, high level design is nothing but like if you take apartment, high level design is like how many floors, how many levels you have to come up with, and in each and every level how many houses you have to keep, like 1 BHKs or 2 BHKs or 3 BHKs, how many 2 BHKs, how many 3 BHKs you have to keep. That one they will come up with. So that is nothing but like high level design. Then low level design they come up with. Low level design is nothing but like each and every independent component from high level design they will take, and internal design of that independent component they will come up with. That means in detail design of that independent component. Means like 2 BHK or 3 BHK if you take, according to Vastu compliant, where you have to put entrance, where you have to put hall, where you have to put bedroom, where you have to keep God's room. Like that, according to Vastu complaint, internal design they should come up, right? So that is nothing but like low level design. Exactly, if you go for like Gmail application, high level design is nothing but like home page. If you take, left side about Google company, right side login. If you take like home page, inbox, outbox, sent mail, compose mail, logout. Okay, that is nothing but like high level design. Then what is low level design? Each and every independent component they will take from high level design and they'll be coming up with exact design, right? So login if you take, how exactly you come up with login? Username, password and sign in, right? So this one it looks like, along with this one, cannot access your account and forgot password, even those one also you can keep here. Okay, so this is nothing but like login in detail design. Then you can go for like compose mail. Compose mail, how it looks like? To CC, BCC, subject, body, like that so many fields you come up with. Like that, internal design of each and every independent component from your high level design components you will come up with. So in design phase architects gets involved and they come up with two types of documents, two types of architectural design documents. Those are nothing but like high level design and low level design. Along with these design documents, so they will come up with entire flow of the application. So entire flow of the application is nothing but like home page first. In home page you will enter correct username, correct password, click on sign in button. Then it should allow you to navigate home page. In the home page you will check your emails, you will compose mail, then you will log out. This is the flow, right? Okay, like this entire flow of the application they will come up with, and in detail flow also they may come up with. Like see, for your Gmail you will try to enter correct username, correct password, click on sign in button. For you is two steps, two navigations, like click on sign in button and viewing home page. But internally how many events occurs? It will connect to database server, it will connect to web server, okay, and it will try to validate like what are the username you are entered, that username is available in database or not. If username is available, it will acknowledgement back, then it will again validate like password, your enter correct username and correct password, then only it will search the pages and help you in navigating your home page. Here I said around 10 events just, but in between clicking on login and navigating home page, thousands of events occurs. Okay, so each and everything they'll come up with in detail. Okay, so that is nothing but like high level design. As a tester, whatever that is nothing but like high level design and low level design, this is more than enough. Okay, this one you should be aware of. Okay, so once design done, those architectural documents like high level design and low level design, development team will take up and start developing the application. Okay, so third phase in our software development lifecycle comes up with the development phase. So in development, developers gets involved. That means like who all are good in their development knowledge. That means like programmatic skills, like this application is using Java, then Java developers gets involved. If it is like .NET developers gets involved. Okay. Okay, so entire house or entire apartment at a time is not possible to construct it. So what they will do, first they come up with a base, then they start up with like some corner and they will be slowly enhancing. Okay, so exactly what are the application you are working, that application also development team start developing in such a manner. So initially what they will do is they will be dividing into modules, like different modules, like depends on the complexity of the application. So 2 modules or 3 modules or 5 modules, or some applications you may come across 10 modules also. Okay, so like module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4. Okay, so again how many developers are working for that application, those one gets assigned to each and every module. So module 1 10 resources, module 2 5 resources, module 3 7 developers, module 4 3 developers. Okay, so it depends on the complexity of the module developers gets allocated. Okay, so again these main modules they will divide into sub modules. Sorry. Okay, so sub modules into sub modules, sub modules into sub, like that they will divide into so many modules. So finally independent component they will take and they will be coming up with implementation portion. Okay, so like that Gmail if you take, so they will come up with code for login functionality. Sorry. Okay, so they will implement first login, then they will be enhancing with forgot password, then they will be integrating with registration, then they will be upgrading it to like inbox or outbox or composable, something like that. Slowly they will be enhancing the application, right? So that is the way they will try to follow. Okay, for developing this application how much time it will take, it depends on the complexity of the application. Okay, some applications it may take like 6 months, or some applications 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, some applications may take 10 years also. Let us suppose this application is taking 3 years. Okay, so you have to develop whole application and send it to testing team for testing purpose. Means what these 3 years testing team will be doing, company cannot sit them idle and pay the salaries, right? So in middle testing team also will be having some work. So that's the reason what developers will do is instead of developing whole application and sending it to testing team, what they will do is they will develop some features. Like if it is Gmail application, they will develop login cannot access your account, forgot password, like that this module they will develop and send it to testing team for testing purpose. Then they will be integrating with registration module and send it to testing team for testing purpose. Like that they will develop some features, some portion of the application, some part of the application and send it to testing team for testing purpose. These small portions, okay, so you can consider as internal release or build or drop. Okay, this small portion as independent components, okay, some part of the application you can consider as internal release, also you can consider as build or drop. What are the terminology you want, you can use it up. Okay, so what do you mean by release? What do you mean by release? Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 7 or MS Office. If you take MS Office also, you will get so many, right? So each and everything you can consider as one release. Each and everything you can consider as one release, right? That is external release, that is version. Okay, but for developing Windows XP or Windows Vista, Microsoft could have taken internally 7 years or 8 years or 10 years, right? But what they could have done, instead of developing whole application, send it to testing team, some features they will develop and send it to testing team. So that one you can consider within your organization, what all are the releases you are making internally for testing purpose, that one you can consider as internal release or build or drop. Normally for any of the application, what they will do is, as soon as they receive requirements, they come up with entire plan. Okay, so that plan looks like different releases. Okay, so release 1, release 100, release 200, release 300, release 400. Okay, like that they'll come up with some releases and names. So when a specific release starts, when a specific release ends, and for that release which are the different features you are going to implement. Okay, like that plan they will come up with. Accordingly they will be developing the features, they will be developing the applications, then they will be sending it to testing team for testing purpose. This one you can consider as internal release or build. Okay, these names normally I always use to say like release 100, release 200, release 300, but the names looks like for some projects they may use MIT, and meanwhile there are two types of releases for any of the project. Okay, there are two types of releases, major release and minor release. The release names may be like MIT or SIT. There is no restriction like for each and every application. Okay, there are only two environments, two releases mean two environments. So like, okay, so there may be so many environments: development environment, testing environment, and in testing again you may come up with manual testing, automation testing, functional testing, something like that. Okay, so the names Augusta release, they can name those releases as Augusta or Spectrum. Okay, like that, what are the names they want, they can, they feel comfortable, they can come up with. Okay, so that is nothing but like releases. Okay, there are two types of releases: major release and minor release. Major release means every 3 months, minor release means every 1 month. Remember, it's not like static for every project, it may get vary from project to project. Okay, so minor release mostly 1 month, or it may be like 3 weeks also. Okay, but 3 months or 2 months or 1 month, or it may get vary for major releases as well. Okay, so this is nothing but like release. Okay, so whatever the task they were planned for that release, they will develop and send it to testing team for testing purpose. Sorry. Okay. So how you will get intimation of build? Very good interview question. Okay, how you will get intimation of build? So as soon as developers develops the features whatever they plan for that release, they will send it to installation team for installation purpose. Okay, so most of the projects, most of the companies, they'll try to keep separate installation team for installing the application. Okay. So development team initially they'll make it as a setup file, send it to installation team for installing purpose. Once installation successful, so installation team sends back mail to testing team and development team like installation was successful, you carry on your testing activities. Okay. So this is the way you will get intimation of build. You will get intimation of internal release. Okay, remember for every project these three steps will be there. So make it a setup file, send it to installing and testing. But some organizations, some projects, they are not maintaining separate installation team. Remember, so for confusion purpose they may be asked like why separate installation team for require only for installation. Okay, so some projects what it will take is, earlier I have worked for one project that is telecom application. For installing whole application at the time we ourselves installed. Okay, installation we ourselves were performing. So how much time it will take, you know, it will take 3 days for installing whole application. Okay, whole up installation is very easy, right? So with little bit guidance anybody can install. Okay, so that application it took 3 days. So at that time some companies, it depends on the company, they may maintain separate team for installation or you yourself may get a chance to install, but 3 steps will be there. So this is the way you will get intimation of build. Okay, so once installation done, then you will start your testing activities. Okay, so you are working for specific application means there may be so many environments, right? As I said, internally how they maintain environments is like this. Before that you will enter gmail.com and press enter, right? So what it will do, it will connect to some IP address in your internet. What do you mean by IP address? Each and every human being in this society having some name, right? Exactly, each and every computer in your internet should be having some IP address. Okay, that is nothing but like IP address. During starting days of your computers or internet, people were using directly this IP address. Okay, directly they were using this IP addresses, but for so many applications they have to remember this IP address means is little bit difficult, right? So that's why they come up with like some hosting kind of services. That means like gmail.com or yahoo.com, some domains they come up with. Earlier initial days you don't have domains. Okay, so internally how people manage environments is this is the way: some IP address, some xxx, some www.dev.html, some environments like this. These are the names. Okay, so development environment will be working with development.html. Production is nothing but like your real live environment, means Gmail application you are using right now, right? You are accessing across the globe real-time environment, so that one you can consider as production environment. So again, testing team, if you take, there may be so many testing teams: manual testing team, automation testing team, performance testing team, maintenance team. Each and everybody will be implementing separate environment, right? So as soon as installation team receives new build, their job is it needs to be installed in all of these different environments, and they will send out email back to development team and testing team. Installation was successful, you carry on your testing activities. As soon as you receive mail, if you will be into maintenance team, you will go to maintenance environment and start your testing activities. If you will be into development, if you will be into manual testing environment, you go your own environment and start your testing activities. Okay. Sorry. This is the way you will get intimation of build. Okay. So development plan I already explained. Okay. So this is the way you will get intimation of build. Is clear? Anybody having any questions? So whenever you get release, what is your job is you have to test that build and you have to find out as many issues as possible and report those issues to development team. There is just some process for reporting the issues whatever you found to development team. I will tell you the process. As of now you can remember like simply. So whatever the bugs you found while testing, you'll report it to development team. So development team, what they will be doing again? They'll be fixing those issues and send back to you for testing. They'll make it as a new setup file and testing. Okay. So these two cycles will be repeatedly happening until whole application gets ready. That means for this application it was planned for 3 years, let us suppose. So you are at the ending days of 3 years. By that time, most of your application could have ready, right? So that is nothing but like testing. Okay. So once whole application gets ready, it will go for, you have to release it to the customer, right? You have to release it to client. So release means like once whole application gets ready in company environment, before releasing it to customer, so you will be installing the application and performing testing. So this kind of testing you can consider as alpha testing. Okay. Idea is very simple. So once whole application gets ready in company environment, you will set up exactly which kind of environment client is going to use. That kind of setup you will set up, that kind of environment you will set up, and you will complete application, you will install and test. This kind of testing you can consider as alpha testing. Okay. So once alpha testing done, you go to company environment, client environment. That means like Gmail, how exactly you are using. So who is your client? Okay. So that kind of environment you will go and you will install and you will configure, then test. That one you can consider as beta testing. Beta testing means like is just to make sure. Okay. So normally you don't go usually. So each and every company try to manage separate installation team. Okay. So what is their job is they have to roam across multiple clients. Who are their clients? So it needs to be installed initially and necessary configuration they have to do. Then basic functionality they have to test. So that is nothing but like beta testing. Okay. So normally very simply you have to say means like this is nothing but like beta testing, but real meaning of beta is like you might be seeing like Yahoo Messenger beta release, Mozilla Firefox beta release. So what do you mean by beta release? Means exactly what do you mean by that one? So application ready to use, ready to deliver and ready to use. But any of the client, what he will think about it? He will try to provide best service to their customers, their users, right? Okay, so they'll try to come up with their level best. Each and every company they try to come up with their level best. But sometimes what will happen is once their application goes to public, which kind of issues they may face from public, they cannot expect, right? Clients or companies they cannot expect. So during beta testing what they will do is they will make it as a beta release. Means they'll release it to, they'll put in real-time environment, that means live environment. So and they'll be getting feedback from public. They are getting feedback from public, so they will try to correct those feedback and make it as a original release. So this is the real meaning of like beta testing. that means like beta release. Okay. So even very recently in India, mobile portability they were implemented. If you think that one, they haven't implemented whole India at a time. What they did was one place they were initiated, so one place they were implemented, so they got feedback from public, then they spread across whole India. That is the major intention of like your beta release. Okay, so remember, this is for products, not for projects. Okay, so this is mostly for products, or even projects also you want to go for, means you can go for. Okay, so this is nothing but like beta release. Once beta release done, then they'll make it as a versional release. Okay, so this is the way, these are the different steps you will try to follow for developing any of the application in your IT industry. Okay, so once you develop, okay, your 3 years over, then you will be releasing it to the customer, right? Then it will go for like maintenance. Okay, so what do you mean by real maintenance? While purchasing a mobile phone, you may get like warranty 1 year or 2 years, right? So what do you mean by warranty? Within that time span, if you get any of the issue with your mobile, you will go client, you will go company, they will make you with free of cost. They'll service it with free of cost. Let us suppose, no, here my point is like, you are purchased, why you are going there again? So that product really developed by that company only. Tomorrow any problem occurred, they only aware of how to resolve that issue, right? So exactly this one applicable for your IT industry also. Once you release the application, it's not going to end relation between you as mean like client and company. Okay, so how many days client is going to use, those many days he require our assistance. Okay, so after that is nothing but like maintenance phase. Okay, so any of the project during development time, so 100 developers, 60 testers, let us suppose they are using. So once it go to maintenance, like Gmail already got stable, then it's in live environment. So all these developers, these many testers not at all required, right? So what they will do is 3 or 4 developers or 1 or 2 testers they will keep maintain. So what are the issues they are facing or any enhancements they are coming up with clients? Okay, so developers will be developing and fixing those issues, and testers will be testing. So that like that companies will try to manage like maintenance projects. Okay, so this is nothing but like maintenance. Okay, so why we come up with the entire software development life cycle? You have to understand testing definition. So testing, how you can define it as verification plus validation. So verification is nothing but like quality assurance, validation is nothing but like quality control. Okay, so verification is nothing but like prevent, validation is nothing but detect. You have to understand this one, means you come up with like software development life cycle. Okay, you come up with software development life cycle. Okay, before moving further, anybody having any questions? Is it clear? Okay, let us suppose one application you are working. For that application, 4 modules were there, like A, B, C and D. So you have to develop this application, means you should go for development life cycle, right? That means 5 phases you have to go through. What are those 5 phases? Analysis, design, development, testing, release and maintenance. Okay, so let us suppose for this application analysis done, design also completed, development also done. They send it to you for testing purpose. Okay, they send it to you for testing purpose. As soon as you get application, you will start as usual testing, right? So and you will try to find out as many issues as possible. Okay, so you found C module got missed out. Let us suppose. So C module got missed out. So as a tester, what is your responsibility is you have to find as many bugs as possible and report them to developer. Fixing the issues is development portion. So your job is you have to find as many bugs as possible and report them to developers. So you will report it to developer. For reporting, there is just some process. I will explain you that process. As of now, you can remember this is the stuff. Okay, so you found C module got missed out. You reported it to developer. So it for primarily any of the issue you are facing in your application, you should go to development team. Okay, so developers, what they will do is, okay, they have to come up with development activities. Means which documents they will refer? Design documents they will refer, like high level design and low level design. High level design and low level design they will refer. Okay, so whatever the architectural documents they referred, there itself C module is not there. Then that is not developers mistake, right? So mistake went to architects, developers. Okay, again architects, the mistake went to architects. So again architects, by referring which documents they will come up with architectural documents, they will refer SRS document. Normally what happened was, in BRS document itself that requirement missed somehow. Now my point is, for analysis how much time it will take? It depends on the complexity of the application. It may take 6 weeks or 1 month, 6 months or 1 year. It depends on the complexity of the application. Again design, how much time it will take? Again 6 months to 1 year. Development 2 to 3 years. Whole time is completely wasted, right? It's complete waste. So these 3 years of time, company could have utilized so many resources, electricity, water, so it could have paid salaries to so many employees, so many resources could have utilized, each and everything going to waste. So again you have to come up with analysis, again you have to come up with design, again you have to come up with development. That means like again you are going to spend 3 years of time. Does anybody suggest or motivate this kind of approach? No, right? So instead of following this approach, what you could have done is like, as soon as analysis done, that means like as soon as you gather requirements from client, make as a BRS document. There itself, if you test, if you missed out something, so there itself you can correct it up, right? There itself you can correct it up, right? So similarly, as soon as BRS document, as soon as SRS document gets ready, there itself if you test, if something went wrong, there itself you can correct. Okay, that means like the idea here is like, wherever something is happening, so there itself you test, you found issues, if something went wrong, there itself you have to correct. So that is nothing but like verification. So means like, as soon as BRS document gets ready, by considering different factors, whether you were gathered all requirements properly or not. Whatever the requirements you gathered, all you were documented properly or not, all are correct or not, all are complete or not. Meanwhile, what are the budget client is going to invest, within that budget, whether you will be able to develop those features or not. Whatever the time he is giving, within that time box, whether you will be able to develop this project or not. And meanwhile, for developing some features, advanced technology required. Let us suppose in Java, in .NET, very recently they come up with Silverlight. Silverlight is for like YouTube movies you will watch, right? So if you maximize your YouTube movie, it be not that much clarity you will see. Okay, not that much quality you see. But with the help of Silverlight, you can resolve that issue. Okay, so like that, any advanced technology required. But we are not maintaining that advanced technology. At that point of time, today if you commit, tomorrow you are unable to deliver, you will get a very bad impression, right? So you have to validate each and everything, you have to test it up each and everything. Okay, so by considering all these factors, there itself if you test, if you went something wrong, there itself you can correct. Okay, so this is nothing but like verification. Okay, so this is nothing but like verification. So verification is nothing but like finding out bugs in early phases of your software development life cycle. So this is the way it's preventing, right? So what is doing? It's preventing dropping of bugs to later stages. So before that, one more very good interview question: at which phase finding out bugs are costly? Early phases or later stages? Later phases finding out bugs are costly. So your verification process helping you like dropping of bugs to or leakage of bugs to later stages. That is nothing but like verification. So validation is nothing but like finding out bugs in later stages of your software development lifecycle is nothing but like validation. So verification also you can define it as whatever the testing process going on before the testing phase in your software development lifecycle is nothing but like verification. Whatever the testing process going on once testing phase starts in your software development lifecycle. So that is nothing but like validation. Okay, so earlier stages finding out bugs is verification, later phases finding out bug is validation. Okay, so like this you can define. But here I am saying like as soon as analysis, that means like as soon as BRS document gets ready, there itself I am trying to test. But you have to test means you should have application, right? So Gmail application, you have application, then only you can test. But application when you are getting, once developers come up with code, once developers develop application, then only you will be able to see user interface. But here I am saying in analysis phase itself you are testing. So what exactly you are testing? There you are not exactly testing application, you are testing documents. So BRS and SRS, those are nothing but like requirements, right? So how you are coming up with those requirements? You are coming up with in the form of Word documents or PPTs, PowerPoint presentations. So those one you are validating. Okay, so verification also you can consider as static testing. Okay, so that's why verification process, that means documents you are statically you are validating whether all documents are properly or not, all are complete or not, correct or not. Okay, so that's why verification also you can consider as static testing. So once developers develop the application, you will be getting application. In that one, dynamically you will be passing the test data and you will be validating. So that is nothing but like dynamic testing. So verification, quality assurance and static testing all are nothing but like synonyms. Validation, quality control, dynamic testing are nothing but synonyms. Okay, so testing you can define it as like verification plus validation, or quality assurance plus quality control, or static testing plus dynamic testing. This is how you can define. Okay, so if you are able to understand this simple example means you will be able to answer around 15 questions. What is testing, what is verification, what is validation, what is quality assurance, what is quality control, what is static testing, what is dynamic testing, development life cycle we covered, right? Waterfall model. So normally whatever we discussed, analysis, design, development, testing, release and maintenance, that is nothing but like life cycle model. So there are different life cycle models we come across, like around 10 life cycle models we will come across. All those one we will be discussing later. So that model is nothing but like waterfall model. In detail we will be discussing again. Just you remember whatever, see, waterfall model is nothing but like testing will be happening only in testing phase. That is nothing but like waterfall model. Okay, but what is the drawback of that one? If something went wrong, you are trying to find out in testing phase only. But that is the drawback of waterfall model. To overcome that problem, what you are doing, as soon as analysis is done, there is a you are trying to test. whatever as soon as design finished, there itself you are trying to test. So that is nothing but like V model. Okay, then differences between waterfall model and V model, differences between verification and validation, difference between quality assurance and quality control, static testing and dynamic testing, and software quality assurance as well we were covered. Also same story you can say. What is software quality assurance? Means monitoring and measuring in each and every phase of your software development life cycle. Software development life cycle means different phases. So what I mean by monitoring and measuring? So how are the activities are going on? That is what you are monitoring and measuring, right? So that is nothing but like verification, right? So software quality assurance, how you can define it as like monitoring and measuring in each and every phase of your software development life cycle is nothing but like software quality assurance. Okay, so these all are the different things you will come across in this small session. Okay, so testing you can define it as verification plus validation, right? So as a tester, where you will come up with in verification portion or validation portion? Testers comes under quality control, means like verification, not comes under quality assurance. Who will involve in quality assurance? Okay, you will get to know later. As of now you can remember this is the point. Okay, okay, and one more very simple topic. So sometimes I am saying application. If you observe in my session today, sometimes I am saying application, sometimes I am saying project, sometimes I am telling product, right? So what is the exact difference between these three? In your IT industry, which all are the things, which all are the applications you are seeing, which all are the softwares you are seeing, each and everything you can consider as application. Okay, so applications were divided into two types. Those are nothing but like project and product. Okay, so project is nothing but like in olden days, if you remember, you'll purchase cloth and you go to tailor shop and give your measurements. According to your measurements, he will stitch and give it back to you, right? So that is nothing but like project. Here my point is, you are purchasing cloth, you are going to tailor shop, you are giving your measurements, you are giving your requirements to that guy. Your requirements you are giving to that guy, and according to your requirements he is developing and give it back to you. So like that, Vodafone or Airtel or ASL, they come to us, they will give their requirements. According to their requirements, we will develop and give it back to them. That is nothing but like project. Okay, okay, so but if you go and give tailor shop, you have some urgent work, some urgent vacation or something like that, you have given so many class, so he will commit at that point of time, he will deliver by 1 week exact time. Okay, so after 1 week if you go, he will try to come up with some story, and he may postpone 2 or 3 days. After 3 days if you go, again he will try to come up with some another story and he will postpone, right? Like that, this one everyone could have faced sometime, right, in their life. Okay, so to overcome this problem, what I can do, you can go to tailor shop. Okay, you can purchase the ready-made class and you can use immediately. That is nothing but like product. To meet market requirements, companies will be coming up with solutions. Okay, so that is nothing but like product. Means, okay, mobile phones, these are market requirements, right? So computers, market requirements, flyovers, market requirements. Okay, so computers you are purchasing. So without operating system, will you be able to do anything? You cannot do anything without operating system. Okay, so operating systems like C, C++, Java, you have movie, you have to watch movie, means movie player required, that is also market requirement. Okay, so like that, to meet market requirements, companies will be coming up a solution. So that is nothing but like product. So applications divided into two types, projects and products. Projects are company specific, products are market requirements. So this is nothing but like your testing definition. I have unmuted. So somebody is asking like alpha testing. So what is alpha testing is once whole application gets ready in company environment, wherever you are working, there itself you will set up client kind of environment. That means like exactly which kind of environment client is going to use. That kind of internet LAN systems configuration, each and everything, that kind of environment you will configure in your company and test how it works. That means like pre-release kind of stuff. Before releasing you have to make sure, right, how your application works. If you go and install in client environment directly, if you test it up, you may face issues, so you will get very bad impression. So that's why before releasing it to customer in company environment you will be testing. Okay, once whole application gets ready, see sometimes nothing is developers come up with code properly, but while making setup something happened, something went wrong. Okay, something errors may go wrong. Okay, so that kind of things you have to make sure, right? So to make sure that stuff in company environment you have to install whole application once, then you have to test properly. So this is nothing but like alpha testing. Okay, that is nothing but like alpha testing. Simply once whole application gets ready in company environment you will try to install and test. That is nothing but like alpha testing. Okay, any more questions? Sorry, project product. See, product is nothing but like to meet market requirements, companies will be coming up with solutions. Okay, so what are market requirements? So you have computer, without operating system you cannot do anything, right? That is what your need, right? Market requirement. Mobile phones, without mobile phones you cannot step, not even single step in your life today, without mobile phones, without like cell phones, right? So that is market requirement, right? So that is what market requirement. So you have movie, you have to watch that movie, what required? Movie player required, right? So that is what market requirement. CBEL, SAP, Oracle apps, each and everything is nothing but like market requirement. Computers also market requirement, right? So like that, so they are making business just. So see companies what they will do, what public require, so that one they are investing and they are making business, right? So that is nothing but like market requirement. Okay, one more question somebody is asking like what is QA and QC? QA is nothing but like verification, quality assurance you can call it as, that is nothing but like verification. QC is nothing but like quality control, that one you can consider as validation. Okay, so what is verification? Prevent. What is validation? Detect, right? So quality assurance is nothing but like prevent, quality control is nothing but like detect. I said those are synonyms, like verification, quality assurance, both are nothing but like synonyms. Validation, quality control, both are nothing but like synonyms. Okay, so you can exactly define like that. Quality assurance and verification both are synonyms. So you have to define means again prevent, what is prevent and what is detect. That is what whole story you can come up with. Okay, clear? So that one in detail you will go through later. Okay, so quality assurance people how they will test, right? That is what your question. So we'll explain that one in detail, you will get one. It will take some time. I have to explain means normally we people comes under quality control, not in quality assurance. Okay, so who will do and what exactly they perform quality assurance testing. Okay, that one a very big story you have to come up with again. Okay, that one I will explain you later. Okay, fine. Any more questions? Any more questions? Anybody? No more questions? Okay, then no more questions means we can end up our session. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Okay, see you, friend. Bye. Tomorrow same time again we can meet up. Okay.